Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book, Trade. Mindfully, Achieve Your Optimum Trading Performance with Mindfulness and Cutting-Edge Psychology by Gary Dayton focuses on the inner game of trading, arguing that consistent results depend as much on mental skill as on charts, systems, and market knowledge. Drawing on mindfulness practice and modern performance psychology, the book frames trading as a high-pressure decision environment where attention, emotion, and habit determine execution quality. Dayton emphasizes that many common trading problems, such as impulsive entries, premature exits, revenge trading, and paralysis, are not simply discipline failures but predictable responses of the mind under uncertainty and risk. The book introduces practical ways to notice these patterns in real time and to respond more skillfully, rather than trying to suppress feelings or force willpower. Its overall message is that traders can train awareness, emotional regulation, and cognitive flexibility in the same deliberate way they train strategy. By combining reflective exercises with actionable routines, the book aims to help traders build steadier process, clearer thinking, and more resilient performance. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, mindfulness as a core trading skill. A central theme is that mindfulness is not a relaxation technique, but a performance skill that strengthens the ability to pay attention on purpose. In trading, attention is constantly pulled by price movement, news, social feeds, and the emotional charge of open risk. The book positions mindful awareness as a way to notice what is happening in the mind and body before it turns into an unplanned action. Instead of being swept along by a surge of excitement or fear, the trader learns to identify early signals such as tightening, rushing thoughts, or the urge to click. This creates a crucial gap between impulse and execution. From that gap, traders can return to their plan, recheck context, and make a conscious choice. The approach also supports consistency. Rather than trading based on mood, traders cultivate a repeatable mental routine. Over time, this training increases steadiness under volatility and reduces the frequency of reactive mistakes. The emphasis is practical. Mindfulness is presented as something to be integrated into pre-market preparation, in trade check-ins, and post-trade review so that awareness becomes part of the trading process, not an add-on. Secondly, understanding the psychology of risk and uncertainty. Trading exposes people to uncertainty that cannot be solved by more information. The book highlights how the brain reacts to ambiguity and perceived threat, often pushing traders toward behaviors that feel protective but undermine performance. Examples include closing winners too early to lock in relief, holding losers to avoid regret, doubling down to repair ego damage, or avoiding good setups after a setback. The discussion connects these behaviors to normal psychological mechanisms such as loss sensitivity, pattern seeking, and emotional reasoning. By recognizing that these reactions are common human responses, the trader can replace self-blame with curiosity and skill building. The book encourages traders to map their personal triggers, specific market conditions, timeframes, or P&L states that reliably change decision quality. It also emphasizes the importance of separating outcome from process, since a good decision can have a bad result, and vice versa. When traders learn to tolerate uncertainty and accept that randomness is part of the game, they can focus on executing their edge rather than trying to control every tick. This perspective helps traders make cleaner decisions, take appropriate risk, and stay engaged without becoming emotionally entangled with each trade. Thirdly, emotional regulation and interrupting reactive trading. Another key topic is how to work with emotions without trying to eliminate them. The book treats emotions as information and energy that can either support or sabotage execution depending on how they are managed. It emphasizes building the capacity to recognize emotional states quickly and to stabilize before acting. Practical methods include brief pauses, labeling the current state, grounding attention in the body, and using structured checklists that prevent impulse trades from bypassing rules. The focus is on interruption, stopping the rapid chain from stimulus to click. This is especially relevant in moments of stress such as a fast market, a string of losses, or an unexpected news move. The book also addresses common emotional loops, including revenge trading after feeling wronged by the market, overtrading after a win, and hesitation due to fear of being wrong. By practicing regulation skills, traders can keep risk decisions aligned with their plan instead of their mood. Over time, emotional stability supports better position sizing, more reliable adherence to stops, and fewer trades taken for emotional relief. The larger benefit is resilience, the ability to recover from drawdowns and return to competent execution without spiraling into destructive behavior. Fourthly, building a process-driven trading routine. The book emphasizes that mindset improvements are most effective when embedded in a concrete process. Rather than relying on inspiration, traders are encouraged to create routines that make good behavior easier and more automatic. This includes pre-market preparation to set intention, clarify scenarios, and define risk limits, in-session practices to monitor attention and emotional arousal, and post-market review to learn from both wins and losses. A process-driven approach reduces decision fatigue by converting repeated choices into standards. It also helps traders evaluate performance more accurately. Instead of judging a day solely by profit or loss, the trader reviews whether they followed rules, sized appropriately, and executed setups as planned. This shifts motivation away from chasing outcomes and toward building competence. The book also underscores the value of environment design, such as limiting distractions, scheduling breaks, and using prompts that bring the trader back to their plan. Such structures are particularly important because markets reward inconsistency in the short term, which can reinforce bad habits. By committing to a repeatable routine, traders increase the probability that their edge is expressed over a meaningful sample size. The result is a more professional approach that supports steadier learning, cleaner data on what works, and improved long-term performance. Lastly, developing self-awareness, flexibility, and long-term growth. A final important theme is that optimum performance comes from ongoing self-study and adaptive learning. The book encourages traders to observe recurring mental stories, identity issues, and perfectionist tendencies that distort decision-making. For many traders, the desire to be right, to avoid feeling foolish, or to recover quickly from a loss can quietly reshape risk choices. Building self-awareness helps traders see these patterns as events in the mind rather than commands to obey. The book also promotes psychological flexibility, the ability to adjust to changing conditions without abandoning a sound methodology. This includes accepting feedback from the market, updating beliefs carefully, and distinguishing between a normal drawdown and a broken strategy. In addition, the book frames improvement as training, not fixing, where progress comes through repetition, reflection, and incremental refinement. Traders are encouraged to treat mistakes as data and to design experiments that address specific weaknesses, such as late entries or inconsistent stops. Over time, this approach builds confidence grounded in competence rather than recent results. The long-term payoff is a trader who can stay present, recover faster, learn faster, and remain aligned with a chosen process even when the market environment shifts. In conclusion, this book is best suited for active traders and investors who already understand the basics of markets but struggle with execution, consistency, or emotional control. It is also valuable for newer traders who want to build healthy mental habits before bad ones become ingrained. Readers who are open to mindfulness, self-observation, and structured practice will gain the most, especially those who recognize patterns like overtrading, hesitation, revenge trading, or abandoning a plan during volatility. The benefit to the reader's life goes beyond P&L. Training attention, emotional regulation, and psychological flexibility can improve decision-making under pressure, reduce stress, and create a clearer relationship with risk and uncertainty. These skills transfer to work, relationships, and any situation that demands calm choices amid changing outcomes. Compared with many trading psychology books that focus mainly on motivation or generic discipline advice, this title stands out by emphasizing repeatable mental training and by integrating mindfulness with contemporary performance concepts. It offers a framework for turning self-awareness into on-the-spot behavioral change and for building routines that support professional execution. For traders seeking a durable edge rooted in process, this makes the book worth buying and applying. If you would like to support Gary Dayton, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.